This short video records for posterity the construction and opening of Myrtleford's first roundabout during the first 6 months of 1991. The construction of the roundabout and associated streetscape works were carried out by the Shire of Myrtleford as stage one of a three-stage project to upgrade the intersection of Clyde and Standish streets, as well as reconstruction of sections of these streets in the adjacent area. This intersection lies at the heart of Myrtleford and has, since the original settlement of the township, been a central focal point. Clyde and Standish streets are full of history and are now a far cry from the sparsely developed areas they were earlier in the century. This historic photograph shows a procession of motor vehicles travelling south along Clyde Street in 1923, past the point where Robertson's supermarket now stands. The leading car carried the then Catholic Archbishop of Melbourne, Dr. Mannix, visiting Myrtleford in March of that year to open the newly completed St Mary's Primary School. Another street procession in the 1930s is seen here approaching the intersection, led by Myrtleford's World War I hero Sergeant Albie Lowison VC, mounted on horseback. You can notice in this photograph the small palm trees within their protective enclosures in the centre of the street. The trees are also seen in this picture taken from the other end of Clyde Street looking north. These palms grew to maturity to become a dominant feature in the street until their removal in the early 1960s. The decision to remove the palms was made by the newly created Shire of Myrtleford in order to upgrade the street at the time. However, public opposition still lingers to this day, as many residents still believe the row of palms gave the main street some character. The palms can also be seen in this old film clip taken in 1961, the occasion being one of the early Tobacco and Hops Festival processions approaching the intersection. Many buildings have come and gone in the vicinity of the intersection. However, this group of shops has stood the test of time and still stand today, unlike the tennis court and old gas lamp pictured here that once graced the area opposite the Myrtleford Hotel. The hotel was built in 1885 and is pictured here still with its old world facade prior to the facelift given in 1958. The group of 4 shops under construction in this 1930s photograph still stand today in Standish Street. However, the Masonic Hall as it appears in this picture is no more. It was transformed into the Myrtleford Hotel bottle shop in the early 1980s. However, the change was cosmetic only, with the original building still intact. The building was erected as an entertainment hall at the same time the Myrtleford Hotel was constructed. It was gutted by fire early in the century and sold to the Masonic Lodge, who restored and reopened the hall in 1922. The Railway Milk Bar has long been part of the Clyde-Standish Street intersection. In fact, this photograph, taken about 80 years ago, shows the building in the foreground. The picture is taken from the balcony of the Myrtleford Hotel looking north up Standish Street towards where the Shire offices stand today. Work on the transformation of this historic part of Myrtleford began early in 1991 and took 4 months to complete. Assistant Shire Engineer with the Shire of Myrtleford, Phil Pryor, designed and supervised the construction of the roundabout. Phil, why was it necessary to have a roundabout?
Well, there's a couple of reasons, Tiff. For some years, the Chamber of Commerce Streetscape Committee had been looking to upgrade and beautify a section of Standish and Clyde streets, and at the same time, Council had been looking to improve traffic management at the Standish-Clyde Street intersection. The concept of a roundabout was looked at and found to satisfy both these areas. It provides adequate landscaping area and also provides good traffic flow and pedestrian control. And following presentation of concept plans, the roundabout project was adopted and thought the best way to approach the problem.
And construction started when?
Tiff, construction started on the 11th of February, and the first stage of the project was to upgrade all the underground services within the intersection area, and this is probably something that the finished product doesn't show. There's a lot of money being spent underground, but the water mains and drains were upgraded during February, and the roadworks were actually commenced on March, which is probably the most visible aspect of the project.
Well, now the second stage was the cement works, which was a fair undertaking.
The curb works were carried out by local contractor Myrtleford Paving, which is Tony Elbow and Sons, and it took approximately 1 month to complete all the curb works, and I think the finished product looks fairly good, and I think something that Myrtleford Paving will be very proud of.
Phil, it wasn't all easy sailing. I understand that you had some problems with vandalism.
Yes, unfortunately, Tiff, at one stage we did have problems with vandalism. They did deface some concrete path down there, but the vandals were caught up with very promptly by the police and were made to suffer a couple of days hard labour working for the council, Tiff breaking up leave.
Phil, a fairly substantial amount of hot mix went into the project.
Yes, Tiff, something like 120 tonne of hot mix went into the project at a cost of some $20,000 to give the roundabout a final and very smooth and very good looking finish. These particular asphalt should last for some 20 to 30 years we hope, and should provide a very good wearing surface and very attractive surface in the roundabout area.
Who provided that service?
Emolium from Wangaratta provided the service, Tiff. It was on a tender basis and they wanted the tender to undertake the works.
And Phil, now to the landscaping.
The landscaping works were commenced in May and completed by the end of June. These works were fairly involved and involved planting some 150 shrubs and 8 advanced landscape trees. The final landscape tree that was chosen was the silver birch tree, which was chosen after some several years of discussion by the Streetscape Committee and Council, and I feel that the final choice of the birch tree provides a very attractive all year round tree with good summer foliage and very attractive winter bark.
The landscaping, of course, is not complete. There's more upgrading to be done, isn't there, in the forthcoming period?
Council was aware that when they commenced the project that there were insufficient funds to finish all the landscaping at the intersection, and at this stage we've only finished actually one of the 4 corners of the area. It's hoped that future stages will be undertaken over the next 3 years to complete the upgrading of Standish and Clyde streets.
Phil, while we're talking about that, just exactly what is going to happen in the next 2 projects?
At this stage I would envisage that the project will be undertaken in 3 stages, the next stage being the continuation north from the roundabout over the old railway line area to tidy up that area, construct new curbs and provide better access to the service road in that area. The second stage would be an extension south from the roundabout between Clyde Street and the Ovens Highway to upgrade that area of Standish Street. That would involve new roadways and landscaping works to give an attractive appearance at the Ovens Highway Standish Street intersection area. The third and probably final stage would be the upgrading of Clyde Street between Queen Street and the roundabout area to finally complete the Myrtleford streetscape.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending the opening of our roundabout on this magnificent wintry afternoon. We waited all the autumn for this rain and now we've got this magnificent. The total cost of the first stage was $200,000, with Vic Roads funding the majority of the roadworks at a cost of $62,000 and the SEC funding the cost of undergrounding the power at $23,000. I'd like to thank all the people involved in the design, construction and landscaping of the roundabout for seeing the project, and all our outdoor staff involved with the project. I'd like to give the SEC contribution. Special mention must also be made of she's better with the scissors than I am.
Now tell me when. Right now? Yes. Now declare beautiful roundabout, very blunt scissors. Open. Well done.
Our roundabout is now complete. You might say just another council project. However, a very special one which demonstrated complete cooperation from council through its officers to its outdoor staff right down to the last contractor. In a few words, what's your reaction now it's all over?
I'm fairly glad it's over, Tiff. I think council and council's workforce can be very proud of the completed project, and I hope that they look at it as a first stage of an ongoing project and move to complete the project over the forthcoming years.